afraid to say who your starting goalie is?
No.
Yeah.
Nothing on lineup today for.
I know you say nothing on lineup today, but with Tuck being out, that creates a massive hole on your top line, and other configurations throughout the year that you've used with Thompson and Skinner obviously haven't been as successful as that trio. So what sort of skill set are you looking for maybe next to those two guys that can sort of try to make up for what you lose in Alex being out?
Well, you need to consider, certainly don't mean this any further than what's being considered and is the effect of every change you make to the rest of the group. So when you think, well, just put this guy there, well, then you're taking that guy away from where he was. And that can mess up your depth or chemistry or the like. So we'll try different things and possibly try different things against different teams. It's just, obviously, that's a void, and you'll have to make adjustments. And the way things work day to day, moment to moment, you'll adjust accordingly. So I would suspect whatever happens or doesn't happen, I don't think means anything's going to stay the same or anything's just going to change. We got to keep looking at it. But what I want to see, first of all, is not disruption of other lines because of disruption of one, or less disruption the better.
What's your sense of how guys handled the news of Alex's injury? Obviously, you're coming off the high of the road trip, but then I know that's an important guy in the room.
Yeah, and we have lots of important guys, so it's a big loss. Obviously, that's those three guys have been one of the top lines in the league together, and they are when they're together. So it is a big loss, a big void. But I think the rest of the room these guys are hockey players, and they're competitive hockey players. They're excited to play. I don't think. They're certainly bummed to not have the teammate Alex Tuck in there. I don't think they lose confidence that, this is going to jeopardize our chance of success. I think this group is ultra competitive, and I don't think it goes to that point. It's a bonus, I think they feel, and we do. It's a bonus when you have Tuck in. It's a bonus when you have this guy in or that guy in. It's a bummer when you don't have them, but let's win. And I don't think that changes, and I don't think anybody wavers in that regard.
Does it have to, today, though, be, especially you have to really pay attention to them, because not only lose Tuck, but at least for today, you don't have Darlene either. That's a pretty big double whammy on one day.
It is a big double whammy, and that's sports, and you have to deal with it. And if it affects your confidence, and then you got to look in the mirror and work on that issue as an issue. That's the issue to me. If it affects your confidence and it affects what you do and anything, that's the issue. It's not the issue that you lost the guy or you lost this guy. And we've had those challenges for quite some time now. I mean, this group here was the core here was part of trading away some really elite hockey players and top hockey players, and they were unwavered. And I expect that to be the same.
Sometimes I've had coaches say to me, I had a hunch on a certain player or whatever. Did that come into effect at all when you were thinking about Craig Anderson starting that game in Florida, that maybe you just had a hunch that he might give you the best chance to win that night?
Yeah, I think it was easy, certainly in hindsight, easy to point to that. But the decision, I can walk you through decision on it. We went into those two games back to back, and I thought it was a situation where more experienced guys should go in at that moment. We did not play well against Toronto here, and nobody liked that game, and just felt it was the moment called for a little bit more experience in those situations, and the decision was really based with that as a number one thought and feeling in that moment.
So, as far as Vinny goes, obviously, Kevin was just saying he's an NHL guy. Just what are the reports you got from Rochester and so forth of his time there?
Yeah, like any player that goes in that situation, it's hard. It's a psychological challenge, and it was for him. And it takes a little time you never plan on it, you never expect it, nor should you. But it happened. He cleared waivers and had to go play, and it takes a while to wrap your mind around that. And I thought that he did a tremendous job of doing that at a pretty fast pace. I know the coaches down there worked with him on that and felt Michael Peck was here the other night. I talked to him extensively. I've talked to Seth quite a bit over the last month on it, or however long it's been. And progressively, Vinny's done better and better and better from the standpoint of, again, it takes you a little while. I think any player in this situation, a little while to wrap your mind around where you're at that point. But he's been ultra competitive, and they've had high praise for him, specifically, the whole way through how he's handled it, and specifically they feel he's made himself better, which is great.
We've seen Owen have to step up in these situations before. How different is that? What's your confidence level compared to before as it is now, and how he's played these tournaments?
Yeah, well, he's played. My confidence will always grow knowing he is another game of experience by going through another situation. He's the guy the type of personality, the type of competitor that when you give him a situation, or game 32 in his career, he gains the experience of it. Game 33, he gains more experience. Some guys, you give them games and they're not soaking that up. So my confidence is he's soaked up more things than the last time we had a shorter defensive group. So he's by virtue of that, he's a more experienced guy. He's got a little more poise, a little more confidence, a little more situational awareness at this level. He's played against Washington now. Felt he had a physical battle with Ovechkin, and the first time you do that, you don't know how strong the guy is, for example. And so yes, he's better suited as he gains experience, and very comfortable with him. Obviously, he'll play a bigger role. He'll slide into the first power play unit. I think he's ready for all of that. The concern from our end would be just watching his minutes.
With Craig, managing his workload has obviously helped him be as effective as he is. Do you have any sense, now that you're at this point in the season, how much more he could potentially handle, or if you'll reach a point where you feel like you want to kind of go to him more often than you have?
You want to go to him more often, definitely. When you overwork a guy, you risk injury, and then you don't have a guy for potentially who knows how long. So you're always weighing that. If you play a guy with fatigue, vulnerability to injury obviously rises. So there's a balancing there, and he's still the same age he was. He's a couple days older. So if he needs more recovery time, he needs more recovery time. And if we don't give him that, and he ends up injured, you run the risk of that too. But we've seen the other guys play well, and they, you get in these situations, and we need everybody to rise. And today we're down Deline and Tuck. We need everybody to rise. We talk about Owen. Well, Owen can't play many more minutes than he's played, maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. So it's not him that's going to pick it up. It's the other guys that might get 4 or 5 more minutes. They're going to have to pick it up. So, and I think in the goaltending situation, you think of each guy when they've played their best. They've all been adequate. So we need guys playing their best. And but there's no question when Craig plays his best, he looks pretty damn good. The team we played the other day, very predictable team. So you're going to see patterns in their game. There's no erratic play to that team. The shot selection is going to be the shot selection. So, those are easier reads, and familiarity. When Craig has familiarity, he can target pretty well, and he did the other night. He made it look easy. He makes those games look easy.